Howdy hoody everyone, I'm YourOwlLord, and welcome to a bit of a new video in the sense that unlike a normal gaming video, unlike a normal any video on my channel, I guess you could say, I just wanted to talk, and I think sometimes there's a bit of lack of just wanting to kick back and kind of sorry about that, allergies. I wanted to kick back and have a bit of an easier video, as well as kind of, speak from the heart instead of just making a normal montage or just gaming video in general. And I wanted to take the time to talk about some things, and this will be mostly from my mind, just free thought, just out there in the ether. I don't really have a plan for this other than the potential of there being another. So one of the topics I wanted to talk about is the state of games these days. Ooh, getting to a pretty big topic already. I've noticed in my years of having object permanence and sentience in this world that game prices have gone up while the quality has seemingly dropped. It's really no wonder that I find myself playing either live service games that prove to actually make an impact, like Fortnite with their constant updating, and how I end up playing a lot of older games. There was a time when I was young where updates brought new things and bug fixes, but other than that, they were spread far few between. And being very, very young kid, you got the game as it was, and it was at that. There was no update, there was no online service to kind of hinge the gameplay on. And ultimately, I think that limitation was what drove game companies to actually put out a polished product. I said that very weirdly. I ran out of breath. So, product. My issue with this is games are now $70. Like, seriously, why do we need a $70 game to be something that doesn't deliver at all? I'm gonna trash on a game based off of its launch, and you can probably guess around the time of when this video is up. I'm talking about the new Jedi, like, Fallen Order game. I think it's Jedi Knight Fallen It's something Survivor. I'll put it up on screen, obviously, as I'm fumbling with this, and I'll probably call myself an idiot in little subtitles. But this game released terribly. If I remember right, the whole entire PC community side of the game. So a good chunk of the players that pre-ordered it through Steam, EA, whatever stupid outlet that they chose to pre-order it through, it wasn't running at a good frame rate on a platform that is praised as the master race, but the frame rate is fine and capped and everything on a console that is proven to need that cap. Even with the modern technology in a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X, there has to be limitations due to the fact that it's literally made only for games. And if they start driving it to be like, oh, you need like all the parts of a PC that, this motherfucker with the 4090 has, then I don't know. It's hard to finish that thought without going on a big tangent, because it's just ridiculous to think, though, that capping it for a console worked, but you can't make a PC optimized version that would run like right out the gate. It's insane to me if you think about it. And I'm no game developer, I'm no manager of any of this. Obviously, I run a small YouTube channel, break myself at work and repeat. But you would think you would start with the version meant for the best parts. You get the full version of the game out. You get it with all the bells and whistles, every bit of volumetric lighting, atmospheric elements, any of your caustics for water, light rays, ray tracing. And then you find the limitations of the consoles, and when you go to make the port for that, that's when you set the limits. That's when you set the limiters. That way, you know, when people look in the settings, it's got the hard caps in there that the consoles run off of, and you don't have to essentially optimize it more. I don't know if that's how it would work. I'm not entirely certain, but I feel like that is a way that could be done. But alas, I don't know shit, and I just feel like that would be a very, like, for lack of a better term, optimized way of doing things, as opposed to maybe it's easier to build it up from the console side first, because you build it with the limitations and then you remove the limitations for PC. That could be another way, as opposed to, you know, it's like the age-old question of, are you doing additive building or subtractive building? Are you 3D printing it and adding it in layers, or are you machining it and you're taking out layers? You know, I haven't really thought about it until now. That's crazy to think. Like, just think about it. There's multiple different ways to skin this proverbial cat, and, you know, most people don't really dive deep into the thought of, like, what if I did this? What if I did that? What if we did this? Would it be much different than that? And now that I mention it, I think I've kind of been swayed. It's not easy in any way. No, it's not. Because even if you go additive from a game setting, where you just keep building up, and let's say they started on just the, I don't know, just like the Xbox port or like the PlayStation port, it would still take a lot, obviously, because, I mean, other than the basic voice acting, paying people, and then doing the whole thing with multiple teams of animating, code, debugging, going through things. I think, that's crazy to think about. But if we think about it in that sense, I believe what would make the most sense is actually going additive all the way to a PC build of like what you would want to have in your PC build of the game, and then do some subtractive. Oh, this is a really good idea. Do the subtractive form for your ports to the other platforms. Oh, I feel like a genius now, motherfuckers. That would be such a good idea. Not necessarily rolling it back to a different, like an older build of the game, but just subtract the big elements that would make it only for PC, because then you have it optimized purely for PC at the start, and then you back it up just a little bit. Back it up. Bring it to like the 2060, 3060 range that the consoles of this generation, of this era, of this year, just back it up to that level of what they're limited to. Oh, this is an amazing thought. I feel like I've had a little bit of a breakthrough in my own understanding. Holy shit, I'm giving philosophy advice over here. I also wanted to, let's see, what was my other thoughts of what I wanted to bring up here? Oh, yes. I wanted to bring up my mental health a little bit, actually. If you've gotten to this part, I am sorry if suddenly this is very boring, but hey, you know, this is This is just a video for talking. This is for having a conversation with you all. If you're here just for the gameplay, I really hope you don't mind me sucking at video games, because that is all that's going to happen here, and the most eventful thing is probably my voice. My mental health has been going everywhere, and I think it's actually affecting my videos as of late. I could probably pull up my channel and, point out in each video if I was sad, upset, anything like that. I know a lot of them I'm tired in. That's the thing. I'm just tired. So I sound either upset or I'm not as energetic. But I have been struggling with my depression, anxiety, all of which are stemmed from current situations in life where I'm just kind of unhappy where I'm at. And I think it's important to understand that I am, not only for myself, but maybe for the purview of others too, of just being able to understand certain ways that I am acting, talking. I'm in my head a lot. Especially at work, I listen to music, I get caught up in my daydreams as I'm working. No, man, I'm gonna be cutting out a lot of yawns and sniffling. But I feel like I'm just having a bit of a break in my own mental health and knowing myself and my mental faculties. And just know that it might affect my videos every now and then. I try to put on as happy of a face, I guess you could say. Yeah, I put on as happy a face as I can for each video so that, it's enjoyable. I think every human being on this planet needs to have a little bit of a sense of realness, reality. I think we need to see the reality of things. I feel like being real is something that we as people kind of try and shy away from so that we only show the best side of us. And that to me is a mistake. I know in my case, I will accept all of my friends for every flaw, and I'm willing to help them work through it. And I would hope they feel the same about me as well. With just my case, I think it's not a bad thing to let others know that you're unhappy, that you're not doing good. And while that is hypocritical in the sense that as of right now, I haven't actively told any of my friends about anything that's bugging me or just how life is generally going through my eyes, I feel like it needs to be brought up. So honestly, if you've gotten this far and you're feeling depressed, anxieties, yes, if you have anxieties, if you're anxious all the time, I just recommend going to someone. If you have someone really close to you, obviously let them know, talk to them, be like, hey, I'm not doing okay. Can we talk? And if they're uncomfortable with the topic, then I'm not really sure how to approach that other than to be, maybe wary of if they're really there to help you. I know certain topics or things can be uncomfortable for people, but I would like to believe that any good friend is going to look at you and say, what's up? Tell me, please. I want to help. I'm here to listen. And obviously, like I've mentioned already, sometimes I guess there will be the people that are like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to talk about this. I don't think I could be of any help. And if that is the genuine case, then yeah, no, they're a real friend. They just don't know how to broach the subject. But there are also the times where I'm sure some of you out there, much like myself, will look at a situation like that and wonder, are they real friends? Are they just using me for something? Am I really like nothing? Or like, can I not talk about myself? And I think it's better to quell the fires of those words. Those words, those thoughts are going to do nothing but spook you, upset you, and make you drive yourself further away. And as humans are, as social creatures. I don't know where that sentence was going to really go, but just humans are social creatures, extremely social. There are cases of where people who are all alone, completely alone, nobody else, they do commit suicide because we are innately social creatures, and it's good to be around people. And it's gonna be what saves you, I think. And I think it's gonna be what saves me. Man, this video is turning out to be kind of a long one, huh? I think I'm gonna call it on 2 topics today. Stay tuned for another one. If you like this, then do be sure to let me know, because I actually would really love to do this again. If you want to, leave some topics of things that I can talk about in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it, and I would love to make a list of what you guys want to hear about. Then I'll see how many I can cram into each video. Obviously, if it requires research or a certain degree of knowledge, I will try to delve into that while I talk as well. Anyways, thank you very much for listening, and if you're here for the gameplay, once again, I am sorry I suck. I know. But thank you so much for watching, and have a good day, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is. Bless your heart, bless your soul. Thank you very much. Swoopity hoo.